31st January, Saint John Bosco, priest, Memoria. Born near Castelnuovo in the Diocese of Turin in the year 1815, he had a difficult childhood in poverty, but eventually was ordained priest. He put every effort into the education of youth and founded religious congregations to teach them and to bring them up in the Christian way of life. He wrote some short works in defense of the faith. He died in the year 1888. A reading from the letters of Saint John Bosco. All my work was inspired by love. If we want to be thought of as men who have the real happiness of our pupils at heart and who help each to fulfill his role in life, you must never forget that you are taking the place of parents who love their children. I have always worked, studied, and exercised my priesthood out of love for them. And not I alone, but the whole Salesian order. My sons, how often in my long career has this great truth come home to me? It is so much easier to get angry than to be patient, to threaten a boy rather than persuade him. I would even say that usually it is so much more convenient for our own impatience and pride to punish them than to correct them patiently with firmness and gentleness. I recommend to you the love St. Paul had for his new converts. When he found them inattentive and unresponsive to his love, that same love led him to tears and prayers. Be careful not to give anyone reason to think that you act under the impulse of anger. It is difficult to keep calm when administering punishment, but it is very necessary if you are not to give the impression that you are simply asserting your authority or giving vent to your anger. Let us look on those over whom we have a certain authority as sons. Let us be determined to be at their service, even as Jesus came to obey and not to command. We should be ashamed to give the least impression of domineering. We should only exercise authority in order the better to serve the boys. That was how Jesus treated his apostles. He put up with their ignorance and dullness and their lack of faith. His attitude towards sinners was full of kindness and loving friendship. This astonished some and scandalized others, but to others it gave enough hope to ask forgiveness from God. Because the boys are our sons, we must put aside all anger when we correct their faults, or at least restrain it so much that it is almost completely suppressed. There must be no angry outburst, no look of contempt, no hurtful words. Instead, like true fathers, really intent on their correction and improvement, show them compassion at the present moment and hold out hope for the future. In serious matters, it is better to ask God's help in humble prayer than to make a long speech that wounds those who hear it and does no good at all to the guilty ones.